How's it going, everyone? Yeah, I know, you're wondering, what the hell is that big ugly thing sitting there? Well, this big ugly thing sitting here is a Wollensak model 715 projector. A Wollensak. Cool. Another auction pickup. This one was $8. And we're going to see if we can't get this thing to work. Now, well, there's my number. Now, I just kind of inspected this a little bit before I started the video. And a couple of things about it that is kind of interesting. And one of them is that you can see this has been taken out of the case a time or two. So the mech has been pulled out of this at least once. And the other thing I thought was kind of neat was, if I can get it out of here with one hand. Come on. Oh, man. Let me try the other hand. Maybe that one will have better luck. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can come out of there. No, you don't want to come out. Oh, he's shy. Give him a break. Come on. Come on. Coax him out a little bit. This is a splicer. This is for repairing busted movies. There we go. See, there. It's cleaned up a bit. But you take your two ends and you have your guide pins. And you put your end on here with the ragged edge. Clamp it down. Clamp it. Put your, come on, make a fool out of me. Anyway, you put it down. Oh, yeah, that's right. Gotta put that down too. You put it down, and then you cut the tape. Cut your movie. A little button down here, and then you do the same thing with the other ragged edge, and then you put her. You line one up here, and you can see there's pins here. You line them up and put it, clamp it down in, clamp it, and then you can either tape it and then cut, or you can use the nifty bottle of cement that's here. You think that might still be good? We'll give it the sniff test. And you get a nifty little bottle of water for cleaning it before you glue it. Which I thought that was pretty nifty. Never seen one. I've seen them work and I know how to use them. I just had never seen one in a projector. So we have that, and we have a couple extra. We have one little one and one big reel. And we don't know if the lamp's any good. We don't know nothing about it. We don't even know how to. Yeah, I think we can figure out how to thread the ugly thing. There are two drives. It just drives it around. Pretty simple. Got your reverse, neutral, and forward. Forward. It should be our lamp. And there's our lamp, which doesn't look too nasty. The top's black because they don't want, you don't need light shining up. You just want light shining through your lens. So the top's coated in black, and then your bulbs underneath is not, so it can shine through. And then we can't come off easy enough. We even hitting the hole? Hell no. We can't even hit the hole. There we go. Finally. Then you have your rapid rewind, which the little, and then press to release, which our little sticker here is kind of stupid. Anyway, this is a 8mm Wollensak Chicago. You got your off, motion, lamp, fast, slow, and framer. Framer? Sure is. Framer. So you know the routine. What we're going to do is we're going to pull it up out of the case and take a look at the back side and see if everything's there anyway, at least, and see if there's anything that we can do to help it along, so when we do plug it in and turn it on, that it does actually want to work. I have plugged these in before, not a Wollensak, but I have plugged in projectors before and turned them on and had some god-awful noise out of them, and then opened them up and found that if I would have taken it apart and cleaned it all up, it would have worked, and I ended up busting gears because the grease was all froze and stuck. So, somebody could have already have done that to this one, and that's why all the screws are stripped looking, or somebody has taken it apart and oiled it to make it work better. But one way or another, we're going to find out. We're going to tear it apart, and we're either going to be able to fix it, or, you know it, dumpster food. So let's take this piece of crap apart and see what we got on the inside of it, and see if it's worth even messing with. Alright, well, I can see already it's not looking good, because we have 2 screws missing down on the bottom, and I could get something, probably get a screw to work in there if we can get it to work. This one I'm not holding my breath. But again, it was only $8, and hey, at least we'll give it a try. Find out how it works anyway. Might be interesting. Alright. Like we have to take what the hell is that? Oh, push and turn. What the hell does that do? Come on. Oh. Okay, maybe Just maybe. Nope, it won't go through there. There we are. Ooh. Look at that dude. Talk about some belts and chains and god dang. This sucker's got all kind of fun stuff going on in it. Belts are still on it, but I'm not going to guarantee any of them are any good. You know, it just has a little bit of slop to it. There's probably, I don't think there's an idler on that one, and that one engages. Yeah. Huh. Now you don't suppose that by chance we could find belts for this thing? Nah. Okay. Kind of interesting. That's what that kind of engages. Has a rubber drive here on the motor that will move up and down, putting it in forward probably, or reverse. And that should be right. That's neutral. That should be forward, which is not doing a thing. And that's reverse. But our forward looks like it stays in forward. Nope. That should be, let's see, reverse goes up and forward is down. And like I said, what I see is that might be a problem. Kind of an interesting little design here, how everything works. And I'm sure it was taken apart because this belt is Ivan Nogoodski, and there is no idler on it that I can see. If there's no idler on it, then it's not gonna, that belt's not gonna be any good, because it doesn't move back and forth to tighten the belt up to drive. That belt should be taut, and when it goes into gear, it should turn this belt, this wheel here, which turns this one, which turns up top. Our mechanism should be the drive. Yep. And then you turn it the other way and it'll... Okay, so first thing is first is I need to see if there's a such critter as finding one of these belts. Let me go see what I can find. I did locate the belts for it. They're about $25 for the set of belts for this thing. That would put us at about $33 for it. And I looked up to see what that most people were selling them for, and this particular one starts at about 90 bucks up to probably about 115. At least that's what they have them listed for, but I don't know if any of them sold. I don't care right at the moment. Right at the moment, we need to figure out if this thing's worth putting another $25 into it and trying to get our money out of it. But which I know I would. Let's see. I did find out and figure out this belt here, the one that's really sloppy, is for threading. That was that knob on the front that says push to turn. When you push that in, it locks onto that bottom gear down there, and you can turn it to thread the projector. Okay, so that one, we know what that belt is, and then the big one here, this is our main drive belt. Those are the only two rubber belts on here. The other ones are chains and the spring belts. Now we have to figure out too is if it's, actually if the mechanism in it's working or what. I've just been kind of playing around with it, and we, neutral, puts our drive in neutral. Reverse pulls it up and turns, and then everything turns here, but it's not locking in anywhere. Same with the forward. If you put it in forward, which moves that variable down, and still it's in forward, but you can see even if the belt was good, it's not turning our projector. So why is it not turning? Now we can, slow, fast. Okay, fast, we're on. That should be off, right? So nothing works. Motion, that should be, we put it in forward, and now it should move the mech, and it doesn't. See, it just turns our, no, I don't know. I think a motor turns that way, but anyway, you can see there's a lock down here on the back side of this gear that somehow needs to lock in, and it's this lever here, right here. But what drives it into position? There, that would push it up and lock it in. And what's puzzling me at the moment is, see, we have, this is our forward and reverse right here, but what's this do? Oh, that's the fast forward. Yeah, okay, that's the fast forward. But what locks everything in? See, when this comes down, it drives that up, and then everything should start turning. Okay. What drives that? You know, what moves that up and engages? What lever? If we push this up, you know, put the, which it won't go in. Let me put you in the stand for a second. So I can get both hands on this so we can look at it. This is what that lifts up. And see, if you lift that up, you know, it won't turn because the belt's shot. But that's still not doing anything. Okay, so what engages? Okay, that's the threader. Okay, maybe I misspoke. Maybe that is not the threader, but why would you wouldn't? If you push it in, what locks it? Okay, what turn? Okay, that's okay. Here we go. Doi. With the, yeah, you can thread it with this, but also with everything turning, see, it'll, oops, this belt also drives the whole mechanism too. Okay. Jeez. I'm glad you helped me figure that out. Alright, now, let's see, everything looks okay. Doesn't look like there's anything scary. We're going to turn it off, and I need the cord. Well, you don't get, it's not no Black & Decker cord, that's for sure. That sucker's a mile long. Ugly looking, but it is here. You get you backed off a little bit so you can, so you don't have your nose right up against it. Okay, nothing touching, so I think we're okay. Let me spin that around a little bit so when I plug it in I can see if anything's going stupid. Okay, it took some power anyway. Okay. Let me pick your head up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Thank you. Motor. Now the big thing, let's see if that lamp works. And it does. Look at that belt flopping around. Alright, let's see if you put it in forward. I know it's not going to do much because of the belt being so crappy. Let's try. Yep, there we go. Through the belt. No smoke? I don't see any smoke. Let me unplug that before I stick my hand in something I shouldn't. It's kind of like stepping in something you shouldn't. Okay. Alright, now we know the motor runs anyway, shoot. And I think just with a little bit of work here, we can get that mech all freed up and just humming along and playing. No, just humming along. Extra pulley. Wonder what that one was for. Aha. We have something else missing too. We have one missing. Okay. You can see that the fast forward or rewind, whatever, there's a groove here for a belt, and it goes out to here, and that'll be your fast rewind. Yeah, your rapid rewind. And you would push this down, it would lock it in like so, and it would turn real fast and rewind. Somehow it would rewind. So it won't have a rewind if I just put the two new belts on it. And I don't think either one of these belts, I know that one's not short enough to put on there. It was probably another spring belt. So if we can't rewind, what the hell good is it? Dilemma. Yeah, there was nothing in the case. It'd be nice if the old belt would have been in here. And unfortunately, that was why it was probably taken apart. Was the belts are loose. Needs the two new drive belts, and we're missing our fast forward belt. Okay, folks, well, we got some new belts for our Wollensak. There was one missing, and it's for the rewind. It goes right on here to underneath here, and that one I could not find. So what I did was I just ordered a set of the spring belts, which, if I'm not mistaken, that one might be a little long, but this is the one that goes down here, or no, goes over here. You know, that's that one there. So I'm hoping that one will fit. Now I do have the long one that goes from here all the way up, but I think that one's might be a little too long. But we'll check them both out and see which one's gonna work for us the best on this. It's pretty clean. I'm not gonna really have to do a whole lot to it, except we'll change the belts, we'll clean it up a little bit and re-lube everything. The grease that's on it is that white lithium, I guess you want to call it, and it's still really viscous. It's, you know, it's not stiff and hardened up. So somebody may have already serviced this a while ago, because somebody had been in here, because, you know, the belt's missing and we had two screws missing, and the screws that hold the projector into the case were a little little rounded out so we know somebody has been in here doing something. So let's get some belts changed on this. This one won't be too bad. We can pull that one off, and I think we can sneak it right between the drive motor and this drive plate, just by getting it started in there and turning it a little bit. And there's that one. Now that one should be the long one. We're not gonna, let me see, we got, yeah, the long one, which will be that one. You can see how stretched out that old belt is. So I'm going to lay them off to the side so we can, because that one, we have to put that one on after we get this one done. Now this one's going to be a little bit of a chore. We can take it off this front pulley, and this is part of the reverse, the rewind. And there's a little, I don't know if we can get down there. I looked at this and I thought maybe we could sneak this. There we go, up, and you can see there's a notch. Oop. There's a notch in there that, or right in there. You can see where when you push on the reverse, it shoves this whole thing over and locks in to the motor side of it and does your rewind. And I'm kind of hoping that we can get this right in between and get it pulled through there in that opening. Not going to be easy, and we got to remember that when we put the new belt down in there, that we do not want to mark up the new belt if we can help it. I'll get something a little longer poker. I think it would be easier from the looks of it so far, as if I get the other end get over there just a little. There we go. That'll be fun putting that back together. Now, you can see it's under this plate. That plate right in here. And that's all part of the rewind. And the only... get over here. And the only way that I see to get that out from under there is to work it all the way up, and we have a pin right here with an E-clip on it, and I think if we get this E-clip off without it flying across the garage, we work this belt up. I think we can move this plate enough to get the belt out. Now that should be the short one, and that's the first one we need to put back in. They're not fun, but has to be done. And I'm sure there's a better way of doing it than this, but this is the only way I could see to do it. And like I said, I don't want to harpoon the belt and put a big nick in it or gouge. And yes, I hurt myself again. Alright, let me work on that. I'll get that down in there. You can't see what I'm doing anyway. I found a better way of getting that belt between those two. Let me see, the belt has to go between these two here. And I didn't want to, push on it real hard and cut our brand new belt. So I got to looking out here. This is our rewind. This is the pin that goes all the way through, and when you push this in, it connects everything up. That's those two pieces that come together in there. If you push this in, there's a little E-clip. You can see there's one E-clip here. And then on the back side, there's an E-clip. Now, if you pull that E-clip out of there, you can get it to where you can get a hold of it. You push it in. Oh, I had it. Now, let me. So you push it in, and it locks in there. Now you can get a screwdriver, a little screwdriver in there, and pull that E-clip out, and this pin will come out until it hits this wire here, and it gives you enough room to get your belt in between there and down inside. Then it's just a matter of fumbling around with your fingers, and I used a little pair of needle nose. I got a hold of the clip and slid it in the groove enough, and the spring will hold it up against this back side here, and then you can snap it back in. So that wasn't too awful bad. It was just a little bit of, I had to kind of study it a little bit more so we could do it without ruining our brand new belt. I think now we can get our belt, this one, on. Hopefully. I didn't put it on because I had an aha moment and I wanted you to see the aha moment. If I can get it started a little bit on here, we can pull it right around and on. This is the hardest one to do because there's just not, there's no room in here to work on getting that belt on there. And of course, as you pull the belt on, it is okay. Again, I'm gonna have to shut you down because you're not gonna be able to see what the hell I'm doing anyway. And that one's on, and you can see that's a heck of a lot tighter. Now, before we put the motor belt on, we need to see if that one spring belt is going to fit for our rewind. So we have to have that belt off to put that one on. So I'm thinking that it's going to be this one, the shorter of the two, that's going to work. It's not the right one because, like I said, I couldn't. That might be stretching that a little too much. Because they didn't have the belts for that particular one. You could get the the two spring belts, but there was no place for that rewind belt. And this one, I do believe, is going to be way too long. Now they use these spring belts because if something jams up, see, these belts will flex a lot, where the rubber ones will grab a hold and you'll tear your film. So let's see what we can do here. This has to come off. This is kind of a funky setup. You have to watch. There's another washer underneath. These two washers pinch down on that one little tab there, and it locks it in. Okay, so let's try this one for the short one. That is awful tight. There we go. And actually, that's not bad at all. I think we'll be okay using the short one there. Put this guy back on. I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Now, see what those two washers do is it kind of clamps down on this. Oh, there's a little tab right here. You can see it. Just see, I'll push it down a little bit. Right there. Let me get you in a little bit. That is not down all the way. There we go. That's better. Okay, now you can see this, see that little, oh, where you at? Okay, that little tab right there. When this goes in one direction, it will, you can see it pivots a little bit and gets a hold of that bottom gear. Like so, and then turns our spindle. And that's what engages and rewinds the movie. Okay, now our other one has to go up on the motor. So we're gonna, has to go between. Like so. And then all we're gonna do is we'll get it started in there and spin it a little bit, and it should, yeah, suck it right around. Do the same thing on the other side, and you can see now we're right there. Put that on. On there. Let's see, I think it, yeah. There. Oops. Okay, what did I do wrong here? Remember how that belt come off? No, see, that's not good either. That's better. Like so. And if you need to see how that belt is run, you can see it comes off the bottom. Bottom goes all the way over to the big one, and then it comes around, goes over the little one, and underneath that one. Okay, now we are ready to plug it in and see what it does now. Alright, we got all our belts on it. Let's see, let's make sure it's off when I go to plug it in. Yep, latch off. Ah. Okay. Turn on the motor. Go forward. Looky there. Smells like old electronics running. If you've ever smelt that old electronics running, you know, they have a really distinct odor to them. Okay, I know, you want to see if it rewinds now. Now let's neutral. There's reverse. Put her in neutral. Okay, here's a moment of truth. Let's see if I can do this. Put it in reverse. And there she goes. Pick your head up a little. There you go. You can see her take off. Forward. I'm not running the light right at the moment. Neutral. There's reverse. Now you can see what happens when you see, here's our motor, and you can see that rubber wheel right there that our motor is running this belt, and this is what turns everything else. When you put it in forward, it moves this over and touches the rubber wheel and then engages everything. When you put it in neutral, it centers that so it's not touching either side. Same thing when you put it in reverse. Now it just moves it back over that way and then runs everything in reverse. Pretty simple. Okay, now our light. Forward. And it is flashing. Let me get you down. My battery's almost dead anyway. You can see it flickering. That's it moving from frame to frame. And we are going to see if we can't see what's on one of those movies I got with this. Neutral, reverse. All right, let's get this back in the cabinet and see what we can do about putting a movie on it. Before I put it in the case, I went through and I oiled every strategic spot, every pulley, post, chain, greased the worm gear and everything on this before I go to put it in. My battery was just about dead. That's why I cut that last one off before we did that. And now we can get this put in the case and see what happens. I mean, it's a runner, but will it play? Will it play a movie? dump the bag and everything goes flying. Screws go flying across the garage. Not much holds these together. And then somebody's got the heads of these screws all mangled up. So we'll get them as tight as we can anyway. There you go. Get it plugged in. Pick you up a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing threaded. Been a while since I've threaded a movie. Got a little movie on there. If I remember correctly, need to have a loop up top. And a loop at the bottom. Come on. All right, now we need a spot to see what's on this. I don't think my box back there. This one looks like it's even older. Let's see the cars. No, that's 80s. Late 70s. From the looks of the cars. Yeah, see, look at the car. Oh, come on, get back to the cars. I need a better look at the cars. And I could kind of tell you. Little overexposure. And no, not the people. Man, this one really. Come on. Looks like that's going to be about it on this one. I think the rest of it's a little got overexposed. I'll keep her running and see if we can see if something else shows up. Still got a couple of minutes left on it. But, yeah, might. Nope. Too bad. There we go. Oh, it's swimming. Kind of hard to. There's her garden. Got a built-in swimming pool. Yep, from the way they're dressed, I'm gonna say 70s. Yeah. Tube socks and basketball shorts. Tank tops. And now it looks like it didn't have any exposure. There's maybe a clip coming up we can see. Now it looks like we're in, yep, now it's winter time. Yep, it looks like an old 70s LTD sitting there. Or a Chevy Impala. 70s Chevy Impala. And that's the end of it. Remember, if you're messing with one of these, that when you're done, always make sure you leave it run with the lamp off to cool off that light bulb. If you don't, that's an easy way to burn out a light. Test our reverse. Yep. Missed it. So that finishes up our Wollensak 715 8mm movie projector. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. All I have left to do is just clean up the other half of the case. I did clean this side all up while I had the projector out of it. We got it all cleaned up. And all I have to do is clean the other half and put her all back together. Put the cord in and wind it up, and she's ready to go. So until next time, See ya.